Transformations are relatively rare among the world's low-income countries, but an economic transformation is underway in an enclave at the head of Africa's Great Rift Valley. Here, the East African nation of Rwanda is establishing a record of high growth, economic stability and falling external debt. Poverty remains high, however, and other problems include low government revenues, a narrow export base and severe transportation bottlenecks. Decisively moving on from a war-scarred past, Rwanda is on a drive to attract entrepreneurs and risk-takers and to be East Africa's next enterprise zone.
We are targeting investment in infrastructure, enabling environment that will really help the growth of the private sector. So mainly that's the key challenges we have is really developing the private sector, but also export-led growth is very important.
Rwanda's authorities are targeting a higher growth path based on an ambitious investment strategy. Their priorities centre on spending a lot more on infrastructure, the roads, rails, bridges and airports that keep modern economies connected internally and with the outside world. And the IMF is partnering Rwanda on its quest to compete with Africa's best.
Rwanda has already graduated from 3 successive loan programs with the IMF to the point where they no longer need to borrow from the IMF. In fact, the current program does not involve any borrowing at all. The new policy support instrument, or the PSI, is rather a signaling instrument. The country's policies are endorsed by the IMF as a positive signal to other development partners and to the markets to let them know that Rwanda is indeed open for business.
And it's stability that business people, markets and ordinary working people in Rwanda are looking for.
Rwanda so far has been able to implement a monetary policy which significantly contributed to build a macroeconomic stability. By the time being, Rwanda is among the developing countries which have been able to sustain a very reasonable low inflation rate. At the same time, the exchange rate has been relatively stable.
Part of making Rwanda more business-friendly is to accelerate financial deepening. That is, ensuring that workers and business people can easily open bank accounts and use financial services.
The access to financial services indicators, they are really very low. For example, to give you an idea, the number of Rwandan people who can have access to a formal banking services is still at less than 20%, which is very low.
The authorities recognize the need to reform the business environment in order to promote private sector activity. They also recognize the need to boost investment and to strategically position Rwanda to benefit from regional integration in East Africa. They are also focused on improving access to financial services, which will help to reduce poverty and improve growth.
When you look at our potential in terms of increasing our foreign exchange earnings, tourism has been really leading. We've seen tourism almost doubling in a period of 3 years, and we see big potential there. So we are currently investing in creating infrastructure that will facilitate this increase in tourism. We have a project we're implementing of building a big hotel with a convention center that will help us to increase our business tourism.
Rwanda is also looking forward to the time when more African commerce is conducted online. Fibre optic cable for broadband internet connections is beginning to crisscross the country.
We are laying fibre optic across the country, and we are saying this. When you look at our Vision 2020, we are saying we want to be a middle-income country by the year 2020, knowledge-based, service-based, because we are not endowed with the natural resources. So we think communication is key to really promoting this service sector, and we have that in place.
Rwanda has a growing reputation as a place where it's comparatively easy to start a business and where investors are protected and encouraged. A lengthening track record of economic stability and the confidence of development partners now put Rwanda among the foremost of Africa's most dynamic economies.